Ladies and gentlemen, we've got something just a little bit different from your normal face-to-face interview today. In this episode of MEP Engineered Online, Dr. Maxwell Mallia-Parfitt, the Director of Applied Technologies at Fulcro, joins us all the way from the UK to share his experience in turnkey visualization solutions. Working directly with major infrastructure projects and academic institutions, Max enables the development of fully integrated BIM workflow solutions that link siloed data while enabling project integration with visualization. Thanks for taking the time to join us, Max. Let's get straight into it. How do you think clients can benefit from visualization, and how important is it to have contextually accurate 3D information presented to stakeholders on a project?
That's a really great question. I see visualization as a key importance in a project. With virtual reality, such as the FULmax cube you see here, you give someone a games controller, they can very quickly move and navigate around an environment. It's so easy to use. And the benefits of this is it's linked straight back to the CAD and the common data environment. We're not having to wait for models to be put through a graphics house for visualization. This is one-click export out of CAD. And this enables us to look at the golden thread of data within a project, or looking at your digital twin. And the real benefit of using technology such as the FULmax is traditionally we'd look at 2D pieces of paper, and that is how we'd be looking for clashes and coordination issues. You stick someone in here with the live project model data, they can immediately see things like ductwork and pipework clashing. What that allows us to do is give some transparency to the client so they understand what the status of their project is currently, but it also allows us to bring those two specific subtrades into this environment, and they can work together to engineer out a design solution, and it gets them to a solution much, much quicker, giving benefit to the project, benefit to the client, and ultimately a better design that can be installed and maintained in the future.
Very well said, Max. When would you suggest that MEP stakeholders such as MEP contractors and design consultants use visualization on a project, and can it really help prevent issues such as clashes before they reach site and prevent delays and rework?
Again, another brilliant question. I would encourage everyone to use immersive visualization as early in a project as possible. The reason for that is when you're taking designs out to site to build them, if they're not right and you arrive out on site, you're just going to add rework, delays and complexity that you have to resolve. And well, we see it time and time again. We just see projects being delayed and delayed and delayed because the works on site are just, they can't be built. So engaging visualization really early, I pointed out this issue on my last answer. Let's go and have a look down this corridor. We can just explore this site very quickly, and we can just look at all of the different services, the different ladder racks, all of that information. And by engaging the teams early and spotting an issue, we can solve that problem virtually, and we can test and analyze in VR, in CAD, and get the right solution before going out to site. And we've seen it time and time again on projects. If you can find that situation and resolve it, you don't have to fix it outside. And that just it saves everyone time, saves everyone money, gives the client confidence that what they're getting is maintainable and usable over the life cycle of the building. But, well, to me, it's a no-brainer. Engage VR and visualizations early in the process, and that's going to give you overall project outcomes which are much better, both in delivery time and delivery cost.
Thank you, Max. Let's talk about the importance and the need for the industry to implement systems that are interoperable, such as 3D model formats and common data environments. And how does this help bring stakeholders together across the supply chain?
Wow, that's such a critical question. It's essential that everyone's working in interoperable formats. I mean, when you're specifying as a client your project using your BEP and your EIRs, so your BIM execution plans and your employer information requirements, it's critical that you're actually stating within those documents what sort of model formats and formats of interoperable data standards you're wanting to be used. The reason for this is it's not just necessary in construction, it's necessary throughout the life cycle of a building. So a lot of people forget after construction, they think that's it. but that building's now got to operate for 70, 80 years. You need to have the correct data at the beginning. And the reason for having interoperable formats is it means you can engage your supply chain early, whether that's through PCSA contracts or whether that's just getting them in and having them on the right model formats. Because it's no good having this amazing design work done by a design detailer if you then can't send it out to, say, your supply chain to get the fabrication done correctly. So using things like industry foundation classes or IFC files as an open data transport format is great, but you need to make sure you got things like your common data dictionary and uniclass and things set up in the background so that once all of the construction geometry is passed across, you can still at least maintain and run that building through facilities management software. So yeah, interoperable data formats and interoperable model formats are really critical. And as a client, you want to be specifying these up at the front because trying to do this later on in the process, it just adds massive cost, time, and equally, you're not getting the quality of data that you need as a client to run your building moving forwards.
That's one of the strongest demonstrations of a software we've seen in a while, Max. However, is there a cultural mindset that restricts the implementation of such a technology on a project, maybe due to teams not wanting to try new ways of working? Also, how important is it for people to collaborate to get the most out of this technology?
That's a great question. I think you can tell my answer from the fact I was nodding when you were asking the question. Yeah, there is a huge cultural issue in the construction sector. So often we are seeing people just going, that's the way we've done it for the last 50 years. We're going to carry on like that. Let's not change something that's already working. That really frustrates me in the sector. It's something that we are finding is really stifling innovation within construction. Equally, we've got a lot of young people coming into the industry and having people saying, oh, that's the way we've always done it. It's not fostering innovation, it's not fostering improvement, and it's something that we really need to change culturally within the construction sector. And it's global, this problem. I mean, we're finding it America, Middle East, Europe, UK, wherever there's construction, people still think of construction as hard hats, high-vis jackets, and putting a brick on top of a brick on top of a brick. I mean, there is a massive cultural problem here. Construction, for me, is more about the data and the information than it is about the boots on the ground, because unless you've got the people and the process and the technology right, you're never going to innovate and build the technology out and build the construction sites in any new way. And we are falling behind. I mean, if you compare the construction sector against, say, automotive or aerospace, the construction sector globally spends less than 0.001% on R&D. You compare that to automotive, they're spending 15% of their annual turnover on R&D and innovation to improve themselves. And if you look at, let's say, electric vehicles, how rapidly they've taken off over the last 5 years, that's the sort of level of innovation I would love to see in construction. Whether that's using gaming technology, which people are beginning to, which is great. Or, I mean, I have this in my pocket. This is a 360-degree camera. This is a $500 tool. But I can go out on site and record as-built record information, send that to a client, and they can immediately see what's going on their site. I mean, it's fantastic. And minimal investment, maximum return. And you give something like that or this to a new starter within the construction sector, and immediately they're flying with it, delivering project certainty for their clients. So yeah, there's a massive cultural issue here in the construction sector, and I'd love to see more companies innovating and investing in not just their teams, but the technology they use, because the status quo just won't do. We can't just keep building buildings the way we are currently, because we're horrifically expensive and inefficient as an industry. So yeah, if you can innovate within your company, do it. What have you got to lose? Okay, yes, we're risk averse, but try it. And you might find that the benefits outweigh the risks for once in your life. And I'd love to see the level of innovation we see in other industries coming into construction. And well, you see it with technology here. Being able to give people that experience, that level of understanding of their building product, through one click from CAD using the traditional means, just elevates that understanding and access to information. And this is why innovation is so critical. So thank you for that answer. I hope if anyone takes anything from this interview, just take that, innovate in your company. Don't be worried to push the boundaries, try things. At worst, you improve your project.
It was great hearing your insights, Dr. Maxwell. Thank you for joining us virtually and walking us through your visualization technologies and interoperable 3D model environments. I look forward to catching up with you again sometime in the near future. For those of you watching, feel free to share, comment, like, and subscribe for more such videos from experts in the industry. That's all for now, and until next time, goodbye.